All right, folks, welcome to week 3 of HTML. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get started with our stand-up meeting. So let me go first. Last week, I did the training for the week 2 classes. On Sunday, the demo was on how to take your test cases and create a project inside the TestRail and create subsections, create a test case within subsections using a template, and insert your test cases into the TestRail, how to create a test run from some of those test cases that are in there, how to mark those test cases pass or fail, how to assign those test cases, and how to look at the report and do a very minor analysis. This week, today, I'm going to be demoing how to create an HTML website, a very minor one, a small one. And this morning, I had a blocker of a meeting window not opening up. Looked like it had a session already started in there, and it was recognizing me as a student. But that blocker got resolved. I was able to unblock it from the meeting main login source, and now everything is back online and working as expected. How about Raju?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I have created another project. Actually, I worked on spectrum.com website. I have created one classic test case and one Gherkin test case, and I have put them on TestRail, but actually I didn't run the test yet. So today, maybe sometime I'll run the test and check. And so far, I don't have any blockers. That's it. Thank you.
Next person.
Next person is Mr. Stein. Sorry, Mr. Stanley.
Stanley is actually on Saturday. He has full-time job, so he's at his store where he's working and listening in. So he may have customers in front of him. So let's go with Chisti.
Yeah, I have done. I've done, and I can demo. So I did it up to run.
Yeah, Chisti, it's more like what did you do and what are you working on today, and if was there any blockers? Kind of like we're practicing
All
the
right,
stand-up meeting. Yeah.
Right. So yesterday, after coming from the work at night, maybe at 10:30, I started to do my project, and I completed up to test run and result. I didn't go for the report yet. And today I'll be finishing the rest, hopefully. And so far, I don't have any blocker. That's it.
Yeah, just name the next person. When you're done, name the next person on the list.
I'd like to invite Sangeeta.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And good morning, everyone. So last week, like I attended last week's both the classes, Saturday and Sundays. And as I said that I couldn't complete the Saturday's homework. And on Sunday's class I attended, and later on I did the Saturday's homework, and then I was a bit sick and was on a sick leave for over the week almost. So that was my blocker, and I couldn't go through the homework. Means I couldn't complete or try anything of Sunday's class, and I missed that. So hopefully this coming week I'll be trying to go through those homeworks. And that's all. Over to Parveen.
Good morning, everyone. So I did 1 or 2 Gherkin tests last 2 days ago. Yes, and I was sick, and also I had some unexpected guest, so I was really busy. That was my blocker, and I'm still going through all my notes, and every day when I get chance, I from last class. And I know I'm kind of behind, but I'm still, reading all the notes and video. And I'll be watching today's class. And next week I'm on vacation, so I'll put more efforts next week. That's all. And I'm gonna go with this. I don't see the name. What happened? Oh, here it is. Yeah, hidden. Now here. I can go Sangeeta.
I already went, so maybe Shanjida.
Sanjida. Okay, sorry.
Good morning. I attend class, both of the class last week, and I try to go through all the homework, the class note, and I have, but my blocker was like I was so busy with my other workload, and I have a plan today that I'm gonna attend today's class and tomorrow's full class. And I can go through, okay, the name is not showing, so it's only that, Annie?
Hello, good morning, everybody. Hi, my name is Annie. Yeah, so I was also sick, and my son was sick also last week. I did attend in both classes, and then I did a little bit of the Gherkin test and 1 or 2 tests like a couple of days ago. Then I couldn't finish the whole thing, like the test reel and all this thing, but also maybe after when we get better, I'll try to finish my whatever I'm behind with. That was my blocker for the last couple of days. But for today, I'm going to do the class. And if I get a chance after everything, I'll try to catch up on my whatever I missed. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. And thanks for sharing all the information. And if you've been sick, really sorry for you. Hope you feel better, and hope you're feeling better today. No worries if you were not able to do the homework. It can be done, and it's easy. I know you guys are thinking it's so hard, and I know you guys are probably punishing yourself if you miss something and like, oh my God, I missed this. Don't punish yourself at all. The really serious classes are going to be when you get into Java and Selenium. So um, the homeworks are going to be, I will look at those homeworks more seriously, and not to grade you or tell you you did bad, but make sure that you understood the concept. And if you didn't, I might do some one-on-ones and things like that. But right now, it's very conceptual. Your company may have a different kind of test software management tool in there. So you may or may not have TestRail in there. And you may have to learn that from based on what they got. when they ask you, have you ever used this tool before? And you're going to be like, no, but I use TestRail. I know how TestRail works. They all work the same way. So how do you do this one? This is how you ask them. And your company or your manager will probably sit with you and or assign another colleague to go over how that works, and you have to just pick up on that and keep practicing while you're working. Obviously, you're making money while you're practicing that. You might get the entire week to refresh yourself with that, and if you get stuck, you ask them back again, how do I do this? Or I got stuck right here. How am I going to put my test case here? So at that point, you're not going to have much blockers because you'll be full-time working for that company, and your kids or family is not going to slow you down, and that or any other job that you're working, you're trying to juggle two things. You won't have that situation. So trust me, you're going to do far better when you actually get that job, and you're trying to learn that technology at the job while you're working there. It's going to be so much easier than what you're trying to do right now. Right now, it's hard because you have your job, you have your kids, and you're trying to learn this. So I totally understand, and don't punish yourself for that. Um, but do move on, don't drop out, do continue learning, do attend the classes, and do as much as you can. Anything you do is like bonus. So please do that. Raju, I heard that you've done some, so I'm going to give you the meeting presentation right now. If you could just show us what you have done so far.
Okay.
Here we go.
I have created another project that is Spectrum. This is the website. I have created two sections here. One is residential and another one is business. And under the residential section, there are some subsections, packages, internet, TV, and so on. The test case is under the TV section. This is a Gherkin test, and the scenario is TV packages. So a website is given, that is www.spectrum.com. When the user clicks on the TV under the residential menu, then a sub-menu will open. And when user clicks on TV plans from the sub-menu, then a page will open featuring various TV packages. That means when I click the TV option and then I click the TV plans, so it is showing me various packages they have. When user selects one package and clicks on Shop TV Select, then an address form will open. And when user fills in address form with random and clicks on the Find Offers button, then a new page will open asking to choose one option out of two. It means if I click one option from here, it's going to open a new address form. And if I fill in and click on find offers, the find offers button, a new page will open asking to choose one option out of two. When user clicks on the current customer option, there will be two options, new customer or current customer. When the user clicks on the current customer option, then a new tab will open asking sign in information. Actually, up to that point I worked. I didn't go beyond that. I didn't sign in. This is one case, and another case is contact us. This is a classic test. The precondition is a website address. The steps are go to website. Number two, the expected result is Spectrum site should display. The second step is select contact us form from residential menu. This is under residential menu, the contact, and we can choose from here. And I choose actually the mobile support. Click contact Spectrum mobile under mobile option from submenu. A Spectrum support page should open. And number 4, click chat with us button on support page. A pop-up chat window should open. And number 5 is select any pre-posted option or type any query. The answer is the automated answering device should answer the query. Just to show you that when I on the Spectrum mobile, a chat window opens. When I click on the chat with us, I can see the chat window. I don't know whether you can see that. Anyway, chat window will
doesn't
open.
show on the meeting presentation, but everything else is visible.
Okay, so that's it. That is all that I did.
Wow, this is outstanding. I did not expect this, that you take it to a different website, which is Spectrum, and apply what I taught into a completely unknown space. And for you to go that road and look into and do an exploratory testing on your website that we didn't even cover, it shows how brave you are, and really tells me that you got this and you got the material very well. So kudos to you. Keep up the good work. Let me show you how to create a test run from this. So just go back to your section view, scroll up and click on breadcrumb. Yeah, scroll up on this or the backspace. Yeah, that works. Yeah. So
another
in
one.
here, yeah, this is it.
Okay.
Now scroll up again all the way up. And click on test runs and results. Very top tab in the center. Tabs are the sub pages in blue bar, top banner.
Yes.
Click on that. All right. So this, guys, this is where you create your test runs. But you can't create a test run if you don't have any test cases. And your test cases tab stores the test cases. Test runs tab and results tab will give you the test runs that you're going to create. So notice the very first panel right underneath in that page, it has a button called Add Test Run. So click on
Should I
that.
click it?
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's going to open up and ask you, what do you want to name it? It by default gave you a name already, test run with the date of today's date. Oh, I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. Generally, that's a great test run name. And if you scroll down, there's options here, reference, milestone, assign to. You can immediately assign it to somebody, but you don't need to do that right now. Scroll down. In fact, I never assign anybody right there. Bottom down here is where your options that you might find it very useful. Now, if you're just starting out a company and you got about 20 test cases, you might want to just include all test cases, which is by default already selected. If you look at the radio buttons on the left side, notice the
Include
blue.
all test cases.
Yeah, one of the button is turned blue. That means it says include all test cases, all those test cases. The 2 test cases that he has in there will be selected. But if you had 500 test cases, maybe 1,000 test cases, and all test cases are in one test suite, and you don't really need to test everything. Like you saw, Raju was testing TV section. So what if your TV section doesn't talk to commercial something else, and you really don't need to test everything. But you do want to test all the TV section test cases. In that case, you would select the second option, which says select specific test cases. But we're going to leave that out right now and leave it as default to where it says include all test cases, and you click on add test run. That's it. So go ahead and click on test run, add test run. So all you had to do was just click 2 buttons. One is add test run, and then another again add test run, and it brought everything that you have in here. I hope so. Scroll down. Yeah, see those 2 test cases?
Yes.
One is called TV package, and the other one is contact us, and a little graph for the report on the top display currently showing everything is untested, which is grayed out. So if you look at the very right side, it says 2 out of 2 untested. Anyway, let's go ahead and flip one of these test cases to pass and one to fail. Right here on the bottom right corner, right next to the test case, you're going to see a drop-down menu that says untested or status untested. Click on that and say pass. Suppose we tested it. And in fact, you did show us how that feature works. So kind of like it worked. It didn't throw any error. Click on add result. Notice pass is already selected in the very top where it says status.
Yes.
And then now half of your pie chart turned green. Half because there's only 2 test cases, and the pie chart is divided into those 2, and therefore half is one is going to be half of it. And the second one here, yeah, go ahead and click on that drop down, and we're going to select fail. This window opens up with the top status showing fail. In the comment box, you can write why failed. You can put a screenshot in there and then hit add result. There you go. So obviously, you're not going to be testing 2 test cases in your job and create a test run for it. You're probably going to have at least 15 test cases, maybe 10 test cases, if not maybe 50 test cases. But I haven't seen a test run created that's less than 10 test cases. I've done 15 test cases that are regressing a page, and there's only about 15 scenarios that are in that page. So brand new page came in and I need to regress it in staging environment, then I would do that right here. And what would happen is if you scroll up a little bit so we can see the pie chart completely. After you have done this testing, you take this report to your manager. Your manager is going to be only interested in red, what failed, and go through why did it fail? Is it a big bug? Is it a major blocker, or is it a non-blocker type of bug? If it's a non-blocker type of bug, then they might say, go ahead and release the application to customers. If it's a blocker type of bug, then they're going to be like, okay, go ahead and create tickets, bug tickets on those that you found, and let's fix it. And after fixing, you have to test again. That means you have to come back and recreate another test run for the same amount of test cases, retest the whole thing, and then see if those failures are gone or not. If those failures are gone, you come back again and you discuss that, and then go ahead and release that application to production. If you find failure again, you create a bug ticket again and let them start working again. So that's the flow of the work that you need to follow. Okay. All right, Raju, thank you so much for presenting.
Thank you too.
You're welcome. Let me give it to Chisti. You said that you have entered some data into yours. So making you the presenter, go ahead and accept and see what we got.
All right. So can you see my screen?
You can zoom in a little bit by pressing Control+. A couple of times.
So can you see it?
Yes. Can you press Control+? Press and hold the Control button.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
and hit the plus button a couple more times.
So that it can get bigger in size, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So now we can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how can I move this?
There is a couple of dots you're going to see on that bar. Grab that dots and then drag it to the side or bottom of your screen.
Oh yeah.
Pull it bottom.
Yes. All right. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what I did, I went to the TechFuse website and I tested the product and service. So in my test rail, I added the title as software testing for techfuse.com. Then I added test case. So I added test case. I added the section. The section was user can use feature product and service. So that was under the section of product and service. So what I did, the precondition was users have credential to open the web portal, and the step was click on the feature product and service. The expected result was the subsection should appear on the menu. That I did. I clicked the product and service and the subsection appeared on the menus. Okay. So now I added subsection products and new product under the subsection, you can see. So there are two cases under, there are one case under each subsection. The subsection was one, the title was product and the case was user can open the product list from the page. So the precondition was user have credential to open the website. Then the steps was click on the product icon, type any product name in the search area and click search button. Randomly edit product name, its item number and price. Randomly delete the product from the list, click add product icon, click add service icon. And the expected results for each of the step was like product list page should open, name of the product similar to the typed letter should appear in the product list, product name, item number, and price should be edited. Product should be deleted from the list, new page should open to add product, new page should open to add service. So this was under the subsection of products. And another subsection I opened by clicking the add subsection menu here, you can see, and that was the new product. So under the new products, I had another one case. The case name was the user can add new product. And the precondition was TechFuse web portal is or can be opened. A step was click on the new product button, type all the particulars in the respective specified space, click submit button, click list products button, search for the add product button by name. And here I should mention that I just summarized the thing because the last step that I showed for the product list, I have already given the step-by-step description, so I don't like to add that again. That will increase the steps. So I wanted to reduce the steps. As a software engineer, I can do it. Okay, so the expected result was a new page title, add product should open. All the particulars should be typed in the specified fields. A message, item added successfully should appear. Product list page should open. Newly added item should be found from the product list. This is by the searching of those things. Okay, so all these were under the test cases, the section and subsection that I created. Then I went for the test run results. Okay, so what I did, the test run report, actually I'm not sure how to do. So the test run report was like that. I did the test run that was assigned to me, and description was the test run product and service that I did. I included all the test cases and saved it. And I cannot find it. I cannot find the result over here.
Yeah, just click on that.
So
Now, instead of clicking edit, just click on that test run letter, the name of the test run. No, not the edit.
okay, so this one.
Hit the back button. You're on test run, and to open the test run, that's right.
Oh yeah. So what I did, I tested all the 3 cases, and when I tested, I found this drag bar, and all those were passed. So I clicked on passed. So in 3 cases, all were passed, and that it shows that the out of three was passed and 3 untested. Untested is 0. So if I block any one of them, like if I do maybe fail this one and add result, then it will be 67% passed and 33% fail, and such like this. So in my case, all passed. So I clicked on passed and add result, and it showed 100% passed. This far I went through my project.
That's a very good job. Very impressed by how you had a detailed, organized test cases into your subsections that you created, and the fact that you went in and created a test run. Really, this is the skill that you're going to be needing when you start working from day one into a company. So thank you, Chisti, for presenting. Great job. You guys, do you have any questions for him on this? All right, no questions. All right, let me take over and move on with today's class. Now, each of you have received an email from me saying that you are enrolled into a Google Classroom. And if you open your Gmail, don't do it now, but I just want to show you how to do that. And I can stay after class if you need any assistance to see it. But I'm gonna go in as a student, so I know I've added my wife as a student, so I'm gonna show you from there what you have to do. So when you are in your account, make sure that you are signed in to your particular Google account first. And if you do that, then this menu right here is going to change to your personal, that particular account's menu. So now if I click open this, it's going to have a whole bunch of things. And in here, scroll up and down, and you're going to find something called Google Classroom or Classroom. And if your classroom is way down here, just go ahead and drag and move these tiles around and bring it like very top so you can easily access it. That's one thing. Second, for the first time only, if you would go into your email, you will notice that you can search by class invitation or just class, and you're going to see an email that says class invitation winter 2022. You can open that up and you're going to see something like this inside. And that says winter 2022 Stein Purification Teacher, and there's a join button. You click on this join button, and that's going to take you to this window. What is it? Double check your link or talk to your teacher. Invitation not found. I may have tried it once and deleted. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to add that back in. Okay. So there's that invitation. Click on it. Join. Back to the classes. I don't know exactly what button it's going to take you, call you or something. But just continue joining the class. And I don't think it's going to ask you for class code. But if it does, let me give you the class code. I think it kicked me out because I was doing as an instructor and simultaneously changing. Here's the class code in the meeting chat window. Let me see if I can. Do me a favor. Let's just go ahead and do it as a class and make sure everybody is in. So I'm going to give you a link. Click on this link. It's going to take you straight there. You don't even have to check your email. So click on that link and type in that join classroom code and type into this chat box that you are successfully in the class, that you can see the class. I want to grab some water while you do that. Let's take a few minutes. All right, I'm back here. Let me know if you have any blockers, anything, any technical issues, or if it's not working. Can somebody give me a feedback if that link took you to a?
Yeah, I can open the link and I sent a message to you through the link, so you can check the message whether it went to you or not. The message was I can open it. Can you check?
Okay, can I make you the presenter to see what you're doing? Here we go,
Yeah.
Chisti. Go ahead and demo
Right.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Demo the class what you see.
Okay. All right. What I did, I clicked the link.
Mhm.
When I click the link, this page opened like winter 2022 Stanley's World. Then I clicked, yeah, I got it. Then it appears the dialog box where one of the dialog box was to the message plus comments. So I wrote, I can open it. And Sanjida Yasmin also comment on this, hi. Parveen Ahmed also comment, hi. This
Wow,
is pretty easy.
it's nice. You guys are in there and already talking to one another. That's very good.
Yeah.
Go ahead and click on the classwork on the very top. This is where you're going to see your work
Yeah.
and
So
your
I should I
assignment.
click
No, hold on a
HTML?
second. So there's assignment for every week, but you're not going to see them
Right.
yet because I'm not going to assign it yet. I don't want to overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
But I might open up a week 4, week 5 sometimes ahead of time, so that let's say if you feel like sometimes you're ahead of the class or you've done it already and you're curious about what's the next one, and you can open up and start working and submitting the next ones as well ahead of time. So as the week progresses, you're going to see these assignments pop up right here. So how are you going to assign, how are you going to manage this assignment? What you're going to do is click on that assignment. So just click on HTML. So this would be your assignment due next weekend. And you can see your due date right there on the top right corner of that panel. See October 29.
Yes.
That's next Saturday. And that's when it's due. You have the whole week to work on it. And instruction of the homework is in here. For you to complete this assignment, you would have to click on View Assignment at the very bottom. It might have it on that 3-dot as well option. Click on that 3-dot. Let me see what it shows. Copy.
Link report tables.
Nah,
okay.
no.
So in
Not
this
there.
3-dot.
Not that either.
Okay.
At the bottom left corner of that panel.
View assignment.
View assignment. So from this window, you can submit your assignment. You can work on your assignment. And to do that, what you do, I would recommend is go ahead and copy these questions first. So go to number 1 and highlight the whole thing from to the bottom, number 11. Yeah, keep highlighting. Press Control C for copy.
Yep.
And on the right side where it says your work, right underneath that, it says add or create.
Yes.
No. This is where you're going to turn in your work. There's several options. If you have your Google Drive and somewhere you did your work in Google Drive in any of the documents, you would click on that first option that says Google Drive. If there is a link to your assignment that you know of, then you would click on that link. If you have a notepad saved in your computer somewhere and you want to attach that file, you would click on that file. But let's say you didn't do it anywhere and you're just working on it right now. And for you to submit this assignment, you would need something called Google Docs or document. Or you can even submit slides or sheets or do some drawing if you need to. But for this assignment, I think the best thing is Docs, a document where you can write stuff. So just to click on Docs. Yeah. It's creating a document for you that is cloud document. And it's going to have your name on it. Notice on the top left corner, it has your name. And it also has the assignment title. So it's very clear cut. It's going to save it for you on your Google Drive with that title. So if you wanted ever to go back to see how did I do this, you have easy organization access. Now, I like that you pasted this question right here, because instead of going back and forth into the other window to check your, no, keep it there. Yeah, keep it in here. So you can see your questions right here. This is nice. And then hit a couple of enter and go ahead and paste your answer or write your answers right in here, right underneath that. Yeah. So going forward, you're going to have a bunch of codes and things like HTML code. When you do your HTML, you're going to come here and paste your HTML code right in here. Or if you have an HTML file, you can attach that too. It's your choice, really doesn't matter how you want to do it. Okay. Now, let's say you're done. Please go back to that other tab again. The assignment tab that we were in.
This one?
No, you remember you open up a doc? Yeah.
Yes.
This one here. Okay. Now look at the very top right corner. You're going to see two things there. There's a share in a blue button called share. You see that?
Yes.
And right next to that share button, notice there's a button grayed out to the left of it. It's called turn in. Don't click on that. Do you see that turn in button?
Yes.
Okay. So when you're done, you click on turn in, it's going to ask you for a confirmation and you say, I'm done. You can turn it in. Immediately, I have access. Now I can see your assignment submission and I can give you feedback on that. Okay. This is one way to turn in your assignment. The another way, go back to that other page on that assignment, HTML. Notice, press Control plus a couple of times to zoom in here. Okay. Notice, because Chisti already created a document where he has his assignment done, it's listed right under your work, where it says your work on the right side. That document is already attached. You don't have to do anything there. But you can also click on that button called Turn In. Don't click on it now. Don't click on it, because it will probably close it off for you and send it off to me, but you haven't done anything yet. So, but when you're done, you just click on Turn In, and that's going to send it off to me. I can look at it and give you some feedback. Okay. The button right next to underneath that is called Add Comment to Stein. You can ask me questions directly through assignments in here. So I know your specific question is related to this assignment, and I could look at some of this right here. Also, if you scroll down, Chisti, on the left bottom, notice Add a Class Comment. Click on that. You can ask question about this assignment to your fellow students, so you can collaborate with them as well. Yeah, how do I do this? Or how did you do this one? Or who can help me with this? Is the type of questions you can ask. And you are going to find that there might be some students who will actually give you what they did and show you their answer, and you can look at their answer compared to yours. Guys, everything is open book, and all of us are adults here. I am not looking for like children, elementary school teachers, whether you're trying to cheat or copy from somebody, because I'm really not grading you on these. I might look at it and give you corrections on how to understand the concept better. That's all I'm trying to do here. So I totally don't mind if you guys share your answers with each other, and you guys can grow with that. You can see how others are responding to this. So it is totally okay. And by all means, copy and paste others' answers, but you take the responsibility of understanding that, okay, this is how it's done. And yeah, I got stuck right here, but I got help right here. Now I see that this is, so as long as you turn it in and you do this collaboration, you are already a plus. You don't have to worry about whether, oh my God, will I be able to do this? Or I'm not going to do this because I can't do this. No. I rather you see somebody's answer, copy paste it in here, than you don't do it at all. Feeling like, oh, since I don't know how to do this, I'm not going to do this. Don't do that. Go and interact with this software. Talk to one another. And that collaboration is the key to working ahead. All right. Thank you, Chisti, for a wonderful demo here. And who else? Is there anybody who was not successful in logging into this classroom? Shout out now so I can kind of walk you through that. Annie, were you able to log into your class?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
No, I got it.
All right, Parvin.
Yes, I am
Okay.
able to.
All right. Sangeeta. Raju.
Yes, I have joined already.
Okay.
Yes, I have seen.
All right.
I could get
Shanjita?
in.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on how I'm going to do this, or I didn't get this, or I'm not sure? All right. I didn't expect it would be that easy. Okay.
Can you just explain again just how we are going to actually submit the assignment? How you're doing the
Yes, Chisti,
assignment? Yeah.
Chisti, you want to
Yes.
demo that since you've done it already?
Which one?
How are you going to submit your assignment?
Please submit how you're going to perform the assignment actually.
Okay, that I can do. So let me open all the things first. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your Google and I can see your classroom on the top right
All
corner
right.
menu.
So
Click on the classroom.
actually, let me open my document so that I can go to the page for the demo. Then I'll show everything.
This might be a difficult way for you. If you go to the classroom, it's going to open up easier because you're seeing everything in Google right now.
Okay.
So yeah, and click on classroom
Mhm.
and then click on Winter 2022 and go to classwork. The first page always shows comments and stuff, announcements
Yeah.
and things like that.
Right. So I should click got it.
Yeah, this is the little lesson that they give you in case you didn't know how to do this,
Yes.
but you already know it.
Right. Then I should go to the HTML page, right?
Right.
So already I pasted all the things that is in the HTML page, so it automatically saved those documents.
Yes, but click on View Assignment.
Okay, so if
See,
I
when you click on HTML, you are not inside the assignment. You are just getting a
right,
window to see what the assignment is, but you cannot turn in your assignment there. You have to say View Assignment to open up the assignment, and then all your work is going to be saved here.
so then I can copy paste or I can write anything over here. Right.
So what you did is you copied this question and you opened up a Google Doc. So Raju, notice if you scroll up, Ruchisti, right there, his Google Doc, where it says your work, right underneath that, he has this. No, don't open that one. Don't open that. Yeah.
Okay.
You can close that. On that panel where it says your work, there's that. Yeah, go ahead and exit out. Cross it off. Yeah, let's delete that. We'll start again. What would you do here?
Annotate.
Correct.
So here are some links like Google Drive, link
Yeah.
file. So the
Yeah, you
Google
don't
Drive
use
is
those.
Google Drive is the Google Drive. It is there in the control panel if you want to go Google Drive. Okay, so I want to go to the Google Drive. So
Just go here and open the click on the docs. Most of the time, you're going to be using this docs.
Right. So I click on the docs. So when I click on the docs, so my page appears here. The title Ayaz Hasan Chishti HTML page. So here I can play with the page. Like I can write anything, I can remove anything, I can do anything. So here is the page for the assignment. So as soon as I do all the things, like let me paste something that I copied. So this is the link that I copied. Actually, this is the instance link that he kept in the chat. So when it was done, then if I turn it in, or if I do something here, I write something here and turn it in, Steen will be able to make comment or see everything. Am I right, Steen?
Yes. Only if you turn it in on the top right corner.
Yes.
And Raju,
yes.
did you have any questions here? Does he need to go any farther or?
No, thank you. Thank you. I got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I do, Stein.
Go ahead.
So I'm actually doing on my phone, and so I copied, and what after that, what do? I said, your work, right? And then I copied the acceptance criteria, like your class, your whatever your task. And then after that, what do I do?
You would click on that turn in button. So notice over here, since he already created a Google Documents.
Yeah, that's part I haven't got that part yet. So I'm here now, right now. It said your work, and then I have add or create.
Yeah, so here most of the time you just need to click on this docs.
Docs. Okay, I got it.
And
Okay.
then it's going to create a document for you, and it will take you to that document page. Right now you are in that document page.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you copy your question here, you paste your answers here, or you type your answers here, however way you want to do it. And then on the top right corner, there's a button that says turn in.
Got it.
And you turn that in and I get it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So
You're welcome.
another
And
thing I should add another thing. On the title, we can rename the title, right? The HTML, if it is particular assignment, like the assignment
yes.
of class week 3.
Yes, you can rename the
Class
title
5,
of it.
I can rewrite anything here.
Absolutely. You can change the title, but I would recommend leave that title because
Okay.
it has your name on it. It has the title of HTML that gives me a clear idea of which assignment is for what.
Right.
And who is it coming from. Okay. Let's take 5 minutes break. We come back and start working on HTML lesson.
So should I close the files?
It's okay. I'll take the presentation from you.
Okay.
And be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Let's get started. So today's day, we're going to talk about, you're going to learn something called HTML. And before I go there, let me show you something here. So let's say I go to Priceline.com. As you can see, I keep using this. I really like this site. This is just a pretty view that you see, but the code behind it, it's still here. You can see it if you open it up. And for you to open that up, you would have to right click on your mouse, not the left, the right click. So if you right click, you're going to get a window pop up like this. And in this window, if you go all the way to the end of the window, you're going to see very bottom, you're going to see something called inspect. And if you click on this inspect, it's going to open up this other window to the right side, and you can expand, contract this window as you see fit. I can hover my mouse over here, and as soon as my mouse pointer moves from a single pointer to a left and right pointer arrow, I can now click and drag this window and expand it to make it bigger or smaller. I want to leave it in the center, but you can go all the way, squish it all the way out. Your choice. As a matter of fact, you can even bring this whole view of it towards the bottom of your window. And the way to do that is there is a button at the very right corner. You're going to see a 3-dot vertical dot button right there. And if you click on that, you're going to get another option here. And on the very top, you're going to see dock side. It's asking you, where do you want to dock it? Dock means station it or position it. And it's selected one is to the right. You can do one in the bottom. And if I click on this, it's going to bring this whole view down here. Okay. I can take it to the left side by clicking on the 3-dot and go here. And it will show up on the left. I can also click on this one and it will split it out of here and give me a separate window. And so it's on a toolbar opens up right underneath that. You will see it says undock into separate window. So if I click here, there you go. I now have a separate window that I can drag and drop somewhere. I can expand this. I can minimize it and open it back up again. This is maximize. I can maximize it to see the whole thing. I can click on this to bring it back to my other window. I can minimize it and it's going to store that in my taskbar down here. And I can open it up when I want it. I can click on that and then open it back up. Okay. This is called a developer tool. And this is where all the code resides. And there's a lot of tabs here. I'm going to show you a few things, maybe 10%. You're only going to need to know 10% of what's in here for you to do your automation job and everything. But probably about 70 to 90% is needed for the developers to develop this website. So, but we don't do that. You don't have to worry about it. This is the code for this page to display beautifully. And I'm going to show you a little bit about this code today. You are going to be able to by the end of this class, you're going to be able to create a simple website with some information and get a basic understanding of what these codes are and how they are organized and what they typically do. With that knowledge, you would be able to look at developers' HTML code and make some judgments, not all, but some judgments. And you're going to see that we're going to be working a lot in here when we get into the automation. And we're going to be doing some queries to find some things in here and learn more about it when you get to the Selenium class after Java. So just this is just kind of a little warm up for you. Again, your job is not to write HTML. I want you to just have some fun. And that's why I have this class. And it's important that you get your hands dirty with this so that when you get to Selenium classes, it's going to be so much easier for you to work with. So, any questions about this developer tool?
Can you repeat, please? Like how you took this off from the beginning again?
Okay. So, if you notice that there is a 3-dot button right here, if I click on that button, I have this docking option. So I can dock it either to the right side, to the bottom, to the left. Let me dock it to the right. I click on that and it docks to the right. I can close it and I'll just see the website. I can bring it back by right click and go all the way where it says inspect,
Inspect.
and then it's going to open this up for me. Typically it opens up to the right, and then you can change it to where you want it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, let's get started then. So HTML is a programming language. Okay. Mainly used to display a website. What does it stand for? Hypertext Markup Language. Okay. So they took the H, T from here, M from here, and L from here, and called it HTML. Hypertext Markup Language. Do know this because recruiters might ask you about it. It uses something called angle brackets. Uses angle brackets. And these are the symbols. Use angle brackets to encapsulate information. And I'll show you what that information. Encapsulate means it just closes it off so that one information doesn't mess with another information. That will become one unit of information. It's not hard, it's easy. You'll see. Most lines of code, most unit of code has an opening and closing brackets. Let me show you what that means. So the way it works is you start with an angle bracket, shift up, and I'll show you where this angle bracket symbol is. Let me see. So let's take a look at our keyboard image. This looks better. I don't know if you can see better here, but there's your angle bracket symbol right here. This one is the left one, less than symbol, and this is the greater than symbol. And it's right on top of this comma symbol and a period symbol. So for you to use these top symbols here, you have to press and hold the shift key first, and then press this comma button, and that's going to give you that symbol right here. Or press and hold the shift button to do that. Sometimes you may have to press and hold this shift button. So if you're using your left hand here, then just click on with your right hand here. Or if you're using this button here, just click on whichever way, how you want to do it. If you know the typing fingers, all fingers, you can use all your fingers or just a couple of fingers. Don't tell yourself that if you don't know how to type with all 5 fingers, all 10 fingers, that's a blocker. As a matter of fact, my supervisor, who is like expert in Selenium, Java, and who taught me a lot at work, and he still knows way more than me. He does not know how to type with all his fingers. He just types with like 2 fingers. And surprisingly, I mean, he's pretty close to as fast as I am. He's not as fast as I am, but still, he's so smart that he can write code better than I do. So it doesn't really define you, and don't make that a blocker. Any questions about these angle brackets? Just give me 30 seconds to plug my computer in. Looks like the battery's about to die. All right, can you all hear me fine?
Yes.
I want to go slow on this so that I don't lose anybody. Okay.
I'm having some network issues. So can you please let me know about those angles once again?
Yeah, let me get to this and I'll show you how to do this once again. So what you do is you put in these angle brackets, and right now, do not try to attempt what I'm going to show you on your computer. I just want you to watch it. If you try to type that in, or you're trying to do it side by side, what I'm doing, you are going to slow down, you're going to get behind, and you might get stuck, and you might ask me how to unstuck you, and that might throw off the entire presentation timing that I have for everybody. So what you need to do is just sit back, relax. I get your hands off the pencil. Don't even try to write it. Just watch and ask me questions. I do want you to ask me questions. So unmute yourself and immediately ask questions when I say, hey, do you have any questions? But don't try to take any notes. I am going to give all of this information to you. So, but I do need you to understand this. And then later, I have the videos there already. You can watch those, and then side by side, pause, rewind, come back to it, and then finish your assignment. So, but let's understand this concept first. So what I mean by most codes had opening and closing brackets. So you do this like this. You have this less than and greater than symbol. And inside of this, you have something called, all right, what's called syntax. Syntax means like the frame, the structure of this code. In here, you're going to have something called tag name. Okay. So you have a name, and that's called tag name. Whatever is inside this bracket is called a tag name. Let me show you in real. Remember that price line? So if I zoom in, can somebody tell me a tag name from here?
Doc type HTML.
Doc type HTML, correct. Anything else?
Head.
Head, correct. What else? All of these, every one of these,
Non-script.
correct. Div, let's scroll down, there's going to be more. All of these are, if there's any other one, take a look at this one. H1, oops. H1, mostly div. You might see some unique ones if you expand right here. See, I can expand this. I'm trying to look for some unique ones. There's H3. There's a P. Each of these have a function, and I'll show you shortly. What if I open up this more? Oh, there's one. Look at this, A. Okay, I will show you this today, how these are done. So these are called tag names. Any questions about the tag name? So you have a tag name inside this open and close bracket. This is open and this is close. And this is called your opening statement or opening. Yeah, I'm going to call it opening statement instead of brackets. So an opening and closing statements. So your opening statement is this. Your closing statement is going to have exactly same thing. You just copy this. Except you put a forward slash right here. Difference between an opening statement and a closing statement is this forward slash. How does it look like here? Take a look at this. There's your opening. Maybe this is too difficult one. I'll show you an easy example. Let's go to this right here. Take a look at this. Here's an opening statement and there's a closing statement. You can also call it opening tag and closing tag. And notice in the closing tag, there's this forward slash right there. All it means is that whatever you're trying to do, it starts right here and it finishes right there. You can open it up. If you see an arrow like this, you can expand it. And it's going to show a whole bunch of things that are in here. And every one of them, well, most of them, is going to have the same structure again. Take a look at this. Just to point out a title, there's an opening tag and there's the closing tag. And then there's some stuff in between that, which we're going to do shortly. Questions so far?
Yes.
Go ahead. All right. HTML code must be inside, must contain HTML tag name. Okay, so something like this. You must have an opening tag called HTML, and you have to close that with the / HTML. Everything has to be inside that. So HTML code must contain all HTML codes must be encapsulated in must be inside, let me use easy word, must be inside HTML tag. An HTML tag. That's what I mean. Okay, take a look at this. If I go here, there is that HTML tag. Every website that you see, it's going to have that. If you don't have that, it's not going to work. And then if I scroll all the way down, it's going to finish with that. Any question about that? Next. Must contain two things. A head tag and a body. Kind of like you're writing an essay. You got to have an intro and then the body. And same thing right here. For HTML, you got to have a head and then a body. How does the head tag look like? Simple. Example, you have this open close. Inside, you write the word head. There is no capitalization here. Everything is written in lowercase. Okay, so that's another thing right here. All must be written in lowercase. Lowercase. No uppercase. So you would have a head, opening, and a closing with this / and you would have a body. Two sections. Must contain two sections. And this would be body and a closing body. You guys with me so far? Okay. Let's try to play around with this and then see what happens. And we're going to do it in real time. So I'm going to, you must be wondering, well, do I need to download something? Do I need to install something? How am I going to create this website without anything? The answer is it's all free. And you actually have everything you need to create and write this code and display it on your screen. And I'll show you how easy it is. It can be done in any document. You can do it in Word document. You can do it right here. I'm going to, in fact, do it right here. But what happens is if you, whatever you write, you have to save this into a file format called a .html. Okay. So file must be saved as whatever the file name you want to give it. So let's say file name underscore name. And over here, you have to put a dot and you have to specify that I want to save this as HTML. Okay. Now I'll show you how that is done. So let me go ahead and save this one. I'm going to go up here, click on File, and I'm going to save. And it's going to give me this window. I'm going to save these notes. Use your desktop because it's so much easier to find. So always go up here, find your desktop icon, click on that, and save it somewhere here. But if you want to create a folder right in here, click on New Folder, and maybe you want to say, I want to put all my classes in here. So automation lessons, and you put it right here. I'm going to create a folder called automation lessons, and I'm going to open this up, double clicking. If I double click, it takes me in here, and it's empty because I did not put anything in it. And notice if you see file name and save as type, it already has this .txt. You cannot have txt for your HTML file. You have to say .html. But this one is notes. I'm gonna delete that file name. I don't want that file name. That looks weird. I'm gonna say HTML notes. HTML notes, and I'm going to save it. The file is going to get saved as .txt, even though I didn't specify, but I could specify .txt, meaning text file, and then hit the save button and save it, and it will save it for me. Let me just show you where it is and how do I retrieve it. Now that I created a folder called automation lessons on desktop, it's going to show up on your desktop. And I can open up this by double clicking, and it opens up this for me. And it shows that I have one file inside it. All right. And I can double click on this file. It's going to give me the notes that I just took earlier. All right. I want to close this for now. So I'm going to open this up. For me to create an HTML document, you have to go to File and click on a new one. So I click Open a new one. It gives me a blank, nothing in it. All right. Just a blank one. The very first code that you need is going to be what?
HTML.
Correct. So you
Bracket,
do an
bracket.
absolutely. So you do an open close, and what I like to do is just write. I immediately type the both first, make it easy for me, and I hit the left arrow on my keyboard to take my cursor inside those two angles, and I'm going to type in the word HTML. But you cannot have just HTML hanging out there. It has to have a partner, a husband and a wife. So you got the husband right there, and then you have to have a copy that and then paste it right here to have its partner. They always go in pairs. Only a few things that don't have pairs I'll show you because it really doesn't need to. But if you don't have these two babies right there, it's not going to work. So you type this first, and then you go inside this arrow. Okay, inside this right here. This empty space right here. Bring your cursor right there, and then you split them up open up space for you, because everything you write has to be sandwiched between these two tag names, opening tag and closing tag. So what I'm going to do is take my cursor right underneath that, and then I'm going to hit a several enter, and I'm going to bring this closing tag all the way down. And now all my stuff that I'm going to do has to be right in here. Any questions so far? Right. This is not mandatory, but if you, let's say, use it, what it does, it's not going to break your code or anything, but in every one of these, you're going to see something like this that called doc type with an exclamation mark, HTML. Now, this doesn't have a closing tag. It just by itself right there hanging in there. Again, it's not mandatory that you have it, but you will see most websites have it. What it does is if you write this, then it doesn't matter what version of or HTML that you are using. Automatically, the latest version is going to get used. I don't know, in your computer, you may have HTML5. Right now, there might be HTML6. In the future, there might be HTML7. But this is a magic keyword right here. If you use this command, basically whatever the latest version of that code is will get brought in, and you will have the capability to do the latest stuff right in here. Therefore, in every website that you're going to see they use that. And we're going to go ahead and type it into ours as well for now. So it's exclamation mark, doc type, HTML. Keep it the same. This is all caps. This is the only exception here. And leave it all capitalized right there. So I'm going to go in here and type it in. Open, close, exclamation mark, doc type, meaning document type, HTML, and that ought to do it for me. Any questions so far? We talked about that it's going to have two sections. What are the names of those two sections? Who can tell me?
Head and body.
Correct. So like an essay, you got to have a head. So I'm going to have open close right here and say head, and have a closing statement with a forward slash called head. And I'm going to have another section called body with an opening tag body and a closing tag body with a forward slash. And basically all your code has to be either inside the head right here or inside the body. It cannot be hanging around anywhere else. So everything you type has to go in here.
It's not.
Has to go in here. Okay. Question so far? All right. In the head section, what head covers is nothing but this tab name right there. You can see that tab name says keyboard, Google search. You can see Lenovo preferred right here. These are called tab names. There's that Stein purification, HTML. So this head section right here has nothing to do with this website right here. Nothing to do with this page that you see, but everything to do with this top part right there that you see. Okay. All right. In here, there is a tag called title. Title. And you have to have an opening and a closing / title. Now, if you write anything inside this title right here, that is going to get displayed right up there or right here, priceline.com or something. So for fun, let's go ahead and write something here. We're going to call this my first website. Okay. My first website. And we're going to save this and see how it looks like before we proceed any further. So I'm going to go in here, and this is the trickiest part right here. You got to be careful how you save this. So I'm going to go here, File, and you click on Save As instead of Save. They both works, but this one will make sure that you are saving it as an HTML file. So click on Save As. A window opens up, and it's asking for you to type in the name of the file, and over here delete what they got and give it any name of your choice. I'll just say my first website. And right when you're done with this, you put in that dot and you type in HTML. Okay, put in a dot and type in HTML. Save it where you had it in the desktop so you can easily find it, and hit the save button, and voila. Now you go back, minimize all this, and you go back to that same folder, which was right here, automation lessons. And I open that up. Notice that file that you just saved as HTML, it shows up in this Google Chrome icon, or it could be Safari or Firefox if you're using any other, or Internet Explorer or something, I don't know. Now it's kind of like a website. So I can double click on this, and it's going to say, how do you want to open it? And notice Google Chrome is first selected. I can go ahead and click on that and say, okay. Look what happened. I see this page in my Google Chrome now, and it doesn't open up as a document anymore. And if you notice, the very top right there, the tab name is what I wrote right there. It's called My First Website. Okay. And there's nothing there in the body right here because I did not write anything in the body yet. Only thing I wrote is the title, and that title is part of that head, and head is nothing but that tab that you see right there. Any questions so far? Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to close these and show this to you side by side. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to hit it on the side of my monitor. Oops, didn't work. And it's going to be half of my screen. And I have that same folder there. What I can do is, here's another option. You can right click on that file and say, I'm going to edit this. So I don't want to see it as a website. I want to go and update that site. So I can right click, open with, and select choose another, more apps, and go in here and click on Notepad. So if you open this in a Notepad, it's going to open up the code version that we just worked on like this instead of the website. Any questions on that? Right now, I'm looking at two things, but it's exactly same file. This file right here is getting displayed right here on the side. Okay. That is all you need to do for this head part and nothing else. Now for the body part, whatever I write in here, it's going to get displayed in here. All right. And you can do this side by side. I like it side by side as I'm presenting and as I'm building it. I also like to do it side by side. So I see how my changes in the code affects in here in the design. So let's say for fun, I just write something here. My name is Stein. Okay. And if I hit the save button here, so if I go into file and hit save, it got saved. If I refresh this page, which is this refresh button here, circular icon, if I hit that, notice that it got displayed right here. My name is Stein. Now, generally, what you want to do is because, yeah, go ahead.
Stein, one question before going further forward. If I save, would it be saved as the document file or the HTML file?
It's going to be in the HTML because you saved it as a HTML. So each time you hit the save button, it already notices that you have been saved this before. And that's why I say first time you save it, go ahead and click on save as. Second time you save it, just click on save. Now it knows that now it knows you already have a file name already for this, and I'm just going to save it where you had it before. So each time you click save now, it's going to save it back to this my first website as an HTML, and if you refresh it, you'll be able to see it right here. Okay. Now you're designing this website. You're like, I like this. My name is Stein. This is looking good so far. What we're going to do is we're going to call this, I'm going to design something for you, and you're going to mimic and you're going to play and have fun over the week and design something your own, and you're going to present this to the class next Saturday. So what I'll do is I'm going to create this and call it cars. And you can pick any topic of your choice and display it to the class, whatever your interest is. Just be creative, and this is really just for fun. But it's gonna get your hands in there, and it's gonna make you a better test automation engineer. So again, I'm gonna go in here and click open this file, and I'm gonna hit save, and I'm gonna refresh, and notice what happened right there. Let me put this bar down. You will see instead of the tab showing my first website, now it says cars. Okay. Where you see Priceline.com, you're going to see that Priceline.com, all of that stuff is also encapsulated in their website inside these title tags. And that's how they got that displayed on that tab name. All right, I'm done with that. I like this, but this is the top, it's the header of my page. Don't really like it to be in the left side. I want to bring it like in the center of the page. How am I going to do that? You're going to need another code called center. So I want to center this. Okay. I want to center this. My name is Stein, not here, but in here. I have to encapsulate or put this text inside a tag called center. So here's how we're going to do this. So I'm going to bring in a tag, open, close, and type in the word center. And they designed it very easy so that you can easily remember what they do. And I'm going to write this word again, center, and I'm going to close it with /. And I'm going to take this, my name is Stein, cut it from here with the Control X, bring my cursor in here, and paste it in here. My name is Stein. And now if I hit the save button and refresh right here, notice my name is Stein went into the center. Okay. I can
One
bring
question.
the center. Yeah, go ahead.
So my name is Stein. It should be started by a space, and before closing it should have another one space, right?
Not really. I'm glad you asked this. I was going to show you this shortly. What if I put a lot of space right here? Like let's say I put a lot of space here. I bring this down here. All right. In fact, I bring this down here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And I put a lot of space here. Sorry, not like that. Put a lot of space right here. And if I save it and refresh, what happened? Nothing. It doesn't understand you're putting space right here by you just putting space. That doesn't work like that. But HTML understands that you wrote one word and you gave one space. It will take only one space and then go and look for the next word, and then go and look for the next word, and then next word, and then go and look, give it a one space, and then go and look for the closing statement. So it started right here, center, and it's going to find the closing statement, and it will stop right here and not going to put anything in the center anymore. And that's what's happening right here. With me so far? So it doesn't really matter that you put extra space or not. Now, if you need a space, that's a different story. Then you would have to use something called like this. The and symbol, and then 4 letters, NBSP. Assuming that I still remember that. NBSP. Watch what happens now. If I save this, and if I refresh, keep your eyes right here, you're going to see it's going to expand a little bit. I can copy paste and have more of this. Let's say I want more space, so I do it right here. One more, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time I have that, and I hit the save button and refresh, it's going to give me more spaces. Why is it like this? Why is it N symbol and then NBSP? Well, NBSP, somebody thought that we don't need a tag for this, and we're going to put this letter combination in here for space, and this won't interfere with anything in here that we already have for other codes. And we don't think that anybody would be using this letter combination to mean anything. Therefore, let's go ahead and pick this combination and use this combination for making spaces inside the text. That's why they have this like, right? I don't need space right now, so I'm going to take this off and leave it like that. Now, what if I wanted to bold this because I wanted this to be a little bit in a thicker format and look nicer? In that case, there is a tag called strong. And let me pull up the notes pad where we were taking notes earlier. This one. Over here, we talked about that center title tag. Displays title on the tab, window tab. We've done this one so far. Center. /center. And this will center align any text. And we did and NBSP. Again, you don't need to write this. I'll do it for you. This will add space between the text. Okay. Let's go back in there. Take a look at a few more things here. So now I like this. This is good, but I want to make it more like bold face right here. What you can do is use a tag called strong. strong, strong. /strong. And if I encapsulate this, and this will make the text this will bold the text. So watch this. If I go in here and I put an opening tag right here called strong, and I close it right here, strong, hit save, and refresh. Now the text that I have, it became bold like that. There's another tag that you can do somewhat bold. It's called H1. H stands for header. You have to have closing. There's actually several of them. You can do H1, H2, H3, H4. Let's take a look at it. Used for creating header and subheaders. Right. And the way it's designed is if you go in with the H1, it's going to be a bold, bigger word. And if you do H2, it's going to be a little bit smaller. If you do H3, it's going to be even smaller. And there's only like 5 of them there that you can explore with, 3, like that. Take a look at this. So I am like, okay, this is bold, but I want it bigger because this is like the title of my website right here. So let's make this bigger. So what you want to do is instead of strong, you go in here and make that, call that H1. Replace the word strong with H1. Now if you save it and refresh, it became bigger. With me so far? I want to change this to, say, also call it cars or my favorite cars. Cars. And then save it, refresh, and I got my favorite cars. And I'm happy with this. But then I'm going to have subsections. So what am I going to do? I am done with this part right here. I center aligned it and I'm done. I'm still in the body section. I still have to be in the body section. I cannot write anything in here because that only has to do with this top part right there. So I'm also done here. So all my writing, next writing, has to be right in here. Nothing under this, has to be inside that body and right in here. So I'm going to keep stockpiling all my code right here. With me so far? So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to have more cars in here. So I'm going to start with probably, how about a paragraph saying what I like or not. So if I want to put my wordings into a paragraph format, there is a tag called paragraph. I'll show you what H2 does shortly. So it's the letter P. You don't have to write the whole paragraph word. So opening and closing P. To write in paragraph format. So if I go in here and say I want to have a paragraph right underneath this. So what you do is do an opening P and a closing P. And you write your stuff in here. It's going to become a paragraph. I'm not going to write stuff right here. I'm going to just copy maybe from the website or something somewhere. Let me see. Let's see what else. So somebody wrote this and I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it right in here. And it's a major mess in organization, as you can see. And I want to put a couple of enters right here. Hit the tab so that it doesn't look messy. Fill a lot in here. All right. There's my opening tag. There's my closing tag. Look, it looks so messy. But if I save it and hit the refresh button, it doesn't look as messy as it was in here. Mainly because, and I can reduce this, it will adjust in that paragraph format. What if I hit a couple of enters here, make it messier? If I save it and refresh, it still won't look messy because this paragraph tag right here looks at from the beginning to the end and cleans up all these extra spaces that I just inserted right here. It will clean it up. It doesn't even say that, hey, you stopped right here, you put a full stop, and then you created a separate paragraph right here. So I'm going to stop right here, create a separate paragraph. It's not going to do that. Notice that right after polo, it put one little space, just like a paragraph, and then started your next sentence and totally ignored all these extra spaces or even the fact that you hit enter. So this really helps you organize your stuff. Even though you make mistakes right here, it will clean things up for you. Now, what if I wanted this to be a separate paragraph? Well, you can do that. You can do that. And that is done through this tag called BR. In short, break. Break paragraphs. Break paragraphs into multiple sections. Or it works like as if you were hitting an enter button. Similar to an enter button. Look at this. If I go in here and I say I want this to stop right here and then go to this paragraph later, I can just have this angle bracket open and close and type the word BR. This is one of those that you don't have to have a closing bracket because it really doesn't do anything else. It doesn't encapsulate open and a close and then something goes in there. It doesn't do that. Therefore, you can only have an opening tag like this. You don't need a closing tag. I go to save, hit this refresh, and now I got notice that this as a separate paragraph and this first sentence becomes all by itself. If I wanted one more space in here, I would have to use this BR again. And it really doesn't matter where I type this. I can type it here. It's going to do the same thing for me. Or I can type it right here. It's going to do the same thing for me. Or I can even type it right in here in the middle. Same thing. It's going to give me one more line space. Save, refresh, and I got another line space. Questions so far?
I have one question.
Yeah.
When you write the code, you use the tab to make the code towards writer side, and everywhere you are making the tags for the next dialogue or something like that. Why you use these tags? I mean tabs. You use tab to make the content to
Yes.
the right in the code.
Right here, right? Like I hit a tab right
Yes.
there. You don't
Yes.
also have to do that. I did that so that it's kind of easy for you to see that this one started right here and this one closed right here. Now, if I did not do this, it would have been very difficult for your eye to notice that, hey, this is a major section and these are small sections. Notice the same thing. I am using the same style when I take notes. I keep this one right here on the left, so I know that all of these extra stuff right here relates to this HTML code header part of it. So if you organize your code, you're going to make less mistakes. I encourage you that you do that. Later, one other thing that you're going to learn is the top ones are called parent. The relationship between the inner ones and the outer ones are called parent and child. This is called a parent. And these are called child. or children. So this head part right here is a child of the parent part called HTML. Now the same concept can be applied right here as well. You could say this P tag is a child and the parent is the body, and that's also correct. But the body is a child of the HTML tag, and that's also correct. And if you want to say it the other way, that HTML is the parent of the child head and the child body. And you can say the same thing, that the body is the parent of child H or child P or child center. Okay. So do follow these tabs, but if you didn't do these tabs, it would still work. But again, you will mix up. You might write your code right here and may not work, and you may not put things properly. I know that when you're going to be doing this for the first time, you're probably going to, the common mistake what people make is they forget to put the closing statement. That's number one mistake. Second mistake they make is they forget to put this closing symbol, and then it doesn't work. The third mistake that most people make is instead of writing inside this body part, they might end up forgetting that this closing body was here, and they end up writing this in between this closing body and HTML, and then that doesn't get displayed either. And all of those mistakes are very common. So try not to avoid making those mistakes, and debug, check your code and see what you did wrong or right. Again, I'm going to debug your code next Saturday to see if you made any major mess or something. Okay. All right. Let's proceed. Okay. Next.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Okay, so under every line, if you put that BR sign, that turns into a paragraph.
Correct.
So it's for every line. And if I put on 3 lines, then the paragraph will start from 3 lines. After 3
Yes.
lines.
Suppose you wanted this to become a paragraph right here. What you want to do is you want to write the BR code right in there, in between this period and this word it. So if I go in here in the code and I'm going to look for where is that, and I see it is right here, I can just leave this the way it is. I don't have to hit an enter or anything. All I have to do is put in, write the word BR tag or type the PR tag. But we saw that if I put 1, it's going to bring and give me only one break right here, but it's not going to give me an extra line space I want, just like a paragraph. In that case, copy that and do it again. Put 2 of them. Now if I save it, guess what? This whole thing right here, from here to here, it's going to become a separate paragraph. Right there. With me so far?
I have one question.
Understood.
Earlier we copied the body from somewhere else and we paste it there in our code.
Yeah.
So if the copied item has several paragraphs and we paste it like that, then does it appear as the paragraph, or we should add the paragraph code between the lines where I need to?
You have to add the paragraph break. It won't show up as a paragraph.
All right.
Now, right, if there was multiple paragraphs, like you saw that this was 2 paragraphs. He wrote my favorite car first, and then he had a line space, and then he wrote the next paragraph. When I copied it together and pasted in here, it showed up as a one paragraph. But me separating them out, I had to put in this twice and created a line break for me. And then separating this part right here to another, I had to put that. So this is what you have to do. Okay. Right. Now, what if I wanted to write Volkswagen right on top of it and say, okay, if it was my first favorite car, I just put Volkswagen, and then I have my favorite car, Volkswagen, and all that stuff. So I get another subheader right on top of this. You can do that. Here's how you do it. You go right out on top of that. Here's where your paragraph started. So hit a couple of enter, bring it down here. Oh, by the way, you don't need all this extra space. So clean that up. You don't have to clean it, but if you do clean it, your code is going to look less messy. So do that. Now, that's your paragraph. On top of that, you want to write the name of the car called Volkswagen. And you want to use that as a subheader. Well, you already used up a header 1. Header 1 is the biggest header you can have. So because you want a subheader like a little bit smaller than my favorite cars, then you want to use what's called H2. Let's try H2 and see how that works. So I'm going to go in here and call it H2 opening and closing. Don't forget that. And go inside those and write Volkswagen. Volks. I used to own Volkswagen in back home. Very old car. Volkswagen. And save. Refresh. And there you got your Volkswagen. With me so far?
It's
How does
W.
it? Oh, thank you.
It will be a V. Bug.
Been a while since I had that car. Refresh. Volkswagen. What happens if I do WH3? I want you to experiment when you're playing around with this homework and then see what works for you. I like it like, I don't want it like super big. So I'm going to leave it as H3. By the way, you can go to Priceline's site and you go to that body section. You might find this H somewhere. Look at this. H1 right there. Obviously, they have so much more in there that the developers have to do. I will show you some of it, but you really don't need to know everything that's there. That's not your expertise. You just need to know how it's done. Okay? All right. So I got this title, I got this text right here. One thing that's missing is I don't have an image. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So I need to put in an image. Where do I want to put the image? Do I want to put it right underneath this? Or do I want to put it on top of this, but right underneath the Volkswagen? I think this might look really nice right here. So let's go ahead and grab, no, I don't know what this is. Let's close that. Let's just put an image right here. So I go to Google. I'm going to steal somebody's image. So go to Google, type in the word Volkswagen, and Polo. I've never seen that model. Polo. Okay. What you can do is go to images and only look at those images. And let's say I like this one. You can click on it. It's going to expand to the right. Oh, by the way, this is, copyright. You're not supposed to copy it. They can sue you for it if you use it for any kind of marketing or something. So I should never do that. But since it's between you and me, nobody's checking. No, it's not going to be a problem. So I'm going to copy this, but I'm not going to click on copy this. I'm going to click on save image as. All right, so that's the option you want to choose is save image as. And you click on that and it opens up this window and asking you, where do you want to save it? Well, where do you think we're going to save it? We're going to save everything where we saved our stuff in, which is automation lessons. So I'm going to open up the, go to desktop, automation lessons, and go in here, and that's automatically come up the file name. I could just call it Volkswagen. Give it my name, wagon, and hit save, and it's now going to be saved in there. I can go in and look at it.
So
Quick
it
way
should
to
be
Mhm.
it should be
Go ahead.
also in the HTML mode, right?
It should be as a JPEG or some other format like PNG or something like that.
So it shouldn't be necessary to be the HTML or some other
No,
mode
no,
of.
you don't want it as a HTML.
Okay, so it
You
should be
don't.
JPG or whatever that format is there that will be saved like
Correct.
that.
Correct. The image format, not HTML format. Just like the way you handle your images. In fact, if you had your own personal image, you don't even have to do any changes of that file type. You can just bring it from your camera and put it into that folder where you have your website.
All right.
But generally, standard is it's going to be JPEG. So you notice that I saved it. I didn't specify, but it saved it as a JPEG way down here. Now, one way for you to quickly access that file, you open up something called File Explorer. You're going to see a file icon in your computer in your taskbar. If it's not in your taskbar, pin it to your taskbar so you can easily access it. Whenever I ask you open up File Explorer, you click on that. So I'm going to click on and open up this File Explorer. I'm going to go to Desktop. I'm going to go to Automation Lessons, and there it is. There is my file right there. If you didn't know what that file is, what type of the file is, you can always hover over that file and it's going to tell you the item is JPEG and how big it is and so forth. You can right click on that file and look for something called properties, and it's going to tell you more about that file. And there's that properties right there, and there's that something called location, meaning where you got it stored and so forth. You can find that information. More on that coming up later in Selenium classes. I'll show you a little bit more about that. But right now we know the file name of this is Volkswagen, and you need to know what extension it is, and that's .jpeg. If you don't know .jpeg, you can right click and hit properties and look at right here. Let me see if it shows. No, not that. Give me properties for this. It's just giving me the properties of the window. I'm not sure why this is. Maybe I need to click on it and then click properties. Oh yeah, I have to click on that file and then click properties. And then there's my file name and the file extension right there in lowercase .jpg. I know it's really small for you to see. I'll add a zoom feature next class so we can zoom in on this text later. So I have to spell it correctly. I got to know what the file type is, and I'm going to go in here and add that in there. So let's see if we can do this. Where do I want it? I want it right underneath the Volkswagen, but right on top of the paragraph. So I'm going to go here, Again, I bring in all under the same margin because I don't want to get all confused. I wanted all of these to be in the same margin. And I know this is my closing tag, so I don't want to violate going outside this and keep all my codes in there. So there I am. Here's where I'm going to add that image. Image tag is also pretty easy. It's just called image. IMG in short. You got an opening tag and a closing tag, IMG. But you got to specify something, and that's going to be not in here like we used to do, but you actually have to do it inside this first tag. Nothing goes into this closing tag. Anything you write in between, anything you put in between this opening and closing tag becomes a text. So this is text. Anything else, you can just do text right here. But if you want to do anything else other than text, like an image is not a text, it has to go inside this opening tag. All right. So in here, what are you going to do is you're going to put a space and write the letter source, in short SRC, source. And you put an equal to, everything goes after the equal to, you're going to have double quote, and then you put the file name right here. Let me do this by file. I'm putting underscore so you can easily read it. File name dot file extension. All right, so this is used for to add an image. I'm going to show you how it was done. Really easy. So first, I'm going to have this image closing, opening and closing. I don't need any text, but if I wanted to, I could add one. And I'm going to name which file to pull it from right in here. So here we go. I'll go to that page, go right where I want it. I'm going to have open, close, image, open, close, / image, closing statement. I don't want any text, so leave this blank. But right after the word image and right before this closing angle bracket, I'm going to put my cursor, put a space. I'm going to type the word source, in short SRC. I'm going to put an equal sign. Give it a space if you want to. Space really doesn't matter. Just gonna keep them separate. You can put two spaces, that won't matter at all. I'm gonna put double quote twice, and inside the double quote, I'm gonna type in the name of the file that I saved, which was Volkswagen. And I'm gonna put the dot extension JPG. Making sure that my spelling is accurate, because if I spell it wrong, it's not going to show up. So now, if I did this, HTML knows that you are looking with that source command. HTML is going to start looking for this file name inside this folder right here. Wherever your website is, that's where it's going to start looking for it to see if it finds it. Now, if I save this and refresh, there you go. I have the image. What's wrong with that? You guys still around?
I think the
Yeah.
size of the
Image is very big, but the text is very tiny.
Yeah, so it's way too big. I gotta trim it down. It doesn't make any sense. My paragraphs are like small, can't even see it. Image is pretty big. So you need to bring this image down. You have to put in more information right next to that. Okay. So let's do this. You can actually specify how much you want the height to be and how much do you want the length to be right in here. And that's another property that you can specify. So let's do this. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say height equals, and let's just throw a number in there. Let's say 300. Yeah, obviously, I want the height 300, then I want the length a little bit longer. I don't want the length to be 300. I don't want this to be a square. I want it to be a rectangle. So I can say width equals, this is by the way in pixels. Width is 400. All right. And if I hit save and refresh, and now I got it smaller. If I don't like this 400, looks like it's kind of squished up. The card looks smaller. I can make it a 600 and see if that looks better. Maybe too much. 500. Okay. Question so far?
So can you, we are not gonna use the length. We are just using height and width.
Yes.
What if we use the length comment?
I don't know. Let's see. I've never tried that. Length. From now on, I'm going to click on Control S button. Notice if I press Control S, it will do the same thing as save. So instead of going and opening and do that, it's much faster. You do the same. Control S. So here we go. Control S and refresh. Actually did the same, maybe expanded out a little bit more. So it still works, Gisty.
I'm saying that height,
Yeah.
width, and length all together.
That might mess up things. Let's see. With might get confused, or probably we'll just take one of them. Because it's not three-dimensional, it's just two-dimensional. So Control Save, refresh. It took this one and ignored this one. Okay. You can use any one of these. Just experiment to get your image to the format you want for visibility and things like that. What if I write something in here on that image tag right here? Inside this opening and closing, I write my car, let's say. If I save this and refresh, notice that my car got written right here and got attached to that image right there. I could hit a break point, put a break right here and say, I wanted this to be right underneath that. So add another break tag, BR, save it, refresh, and that my car went into right underneath the picture, got attached right there. I could even bring this in the center and say I want it right there in the center. Then I have to put center tag around this my car, and then that's gonna become the center caption in here. If I don't like my image right here, I can also bring everything in the center, and you just put a opening center like that and a closing center like that, and then do that. I'm not going to do it right now. It's a waste of time. You explore, experiment, because I've done this many times. I just want to show you how things are done and what do you need to do to get a nice, fun website for yourself. Okay? Any questions so far? All right.
Can we add videos?
You can add videos as well. Yes, you can add videos. By the way, how about we add a video here? But I'm going to do a link, like a hyperlink. So that was on my lesson anyway. Here's what we're going to do. What if, uh, a lot of websites, you got these buttons and you got this something called like a text that's in blue color. These are all called hyperlinks. Whenever you see it in blue or you hover over and you see your cursor went into like a finger pointer, that means you can click on it and it's going to take you somewhere. So those are called hyperlinks. And hyperlink is done through a tag called A. A stands for anchor. Anchor. You're actually anchoring something in here, but if you click on it, it's going to take you to where the source is. That's why it's called anchor tag, in short, A. You need an opening and a closing. Anchor tag stands for anchor, used for hyperlink or link to some other pages. You can also link stuff in your own page. What you have to do here is you need to type in something called href. All right, href, and then meaning, in short, hyperlink, and short for reference. Hyperlink reference. That means where is it? Kind of like this image. Image, you told where it is. Over here, you have to say where it is. So href equal to, put it in quotation, and here you put the source or the site address or address. Let's see how we're going to do this. Suppose you got a YouTube video, and suppose this is the video that you want to hyperlink it to. You can take this the video address from the address bar. You copy that, highlight and copy. You go to your code base, okay? And in here, you put in this code and you're like, I'm going to put it right underneath. In fact, let's make it more relevant. So Volkswagen video. Wagon Polo. There's a review video. And I'm going to copy that, go into my code, and I want to put it right under this paragraph. So let's do it right here. Make it a little smaller. So in here, I'm going to start with this open anchor tag, close anchor tag, go inside the opening tag, write the word href, meaning hyperlink reference, put an equal sign, put the double quote, and inside the double quote, I'm going to paste that link. If I paste that link and now hit save, let's see what happens. Nothing happened. Who can tell me why is that?
It should be saved in my file where the other things I saved in.
No, that's still good. But what happened is that is a source, but you have never said which text. Remember, just by writing this it's not going to show up in here. This is a link. Yeah, the image showed up right here. It's there. It's still there. But it's this word that you're going to type in right here that's going to become a link to this. So since I did not write anything in here, it's blank. That blank is right here. I don't know if I can hover over. Let me see if the hover over still works on this. I can't even find it. Anyway, what you have to do is you have to type in what you want that link to say, and inside these two opening and closing tag. So if I type in what I wanted to say right in here, I can say, click here. All right. Now, if I save it and refresh, look at this. Now it has something called click here to watch the video, and that's going to get displayed. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to that website, to that review. I want to close this, go back in there. Oh, I should have hit the backspace. I actually ended up closing that website. So let me reopen it. I go back up here. Here's my website. Double click. There you go. And minimize this one. Click on this, click here. There's the website. Hit the back button. Takes me back to my website. To make it more fun, let's write click here for review video. And guess what? I'm running out of space. I'm going to hit an enter, bring it down here. Totally okay to organize it. Click here for the review video. Hit save. No change. But only thing that I added was click here for the review video. Still, I can click on that. Will take me to the video. Hit the back button. I'm back on my site. Any questions so far?
We can't add the video as a source. Is it possible?
If you want the video to show up right here, there's a way to do that, but it's out of the scope of this class. And I'm not going to require you to do it on the homework either.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, so I have one question. Like the JPG image or the other image we saved in our file. So can we use the video file in video clips that we tagged here from the YouTube in our file, so that if there might something happen when something is withdrawn from the YouTube, then we cannot find it there. But if it remains to our file, it can be opened. Is it?
Yes, you can do that. But I'm not going to show you because it's outside the scope of today's class. And really, I mean, go for it. Learn this. And if you have fun, you want to explore more, learn more, and take it as far as you want to. But what I'm going to show you today, it's all you're going to need for you to be successful in automation engineering. And that's why I don't want to take up too much of your time. Okay?
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For link, actually, we are using the link source, but for the image, we are putting here the name of the image, but how can we actually put the source of the image?
The source of the image, can you clarify the question? I'm not quite sure what you mean.
Actually, you see the image source is said here, the name, the file name, the Volkswagen.jpg. So you are just writing the name of the image, but how can it understand the source of the image, actually? The location, where is the location of the image? How can it actually understand?
Very good question. And what it does is if you just say source and give the name, what it's going to do is with that, it's only going to look for, because it did not say where, in which folder, it's going to
Yes,
immediately look for it in the same folder you saved this file.
I see. But
So
if
by
it is
default,
in different location,
you I knew somebody was going to ask that question. That can be done too. What you're going to do is you right click on this and we try see if it works. So you go to properties and you copy this. See this? It's very tiny right now, and I did not install the zoom feature yet, which I do later down the class. Then I would be able to zoom it in for you. Here's the file path, meaning the actual address. Uh, this address is like not just your street number and your street address, not just the city you live in, but it's the zip code, it's the country you are in. So this is the entire address right here. And you're going to have to specify the entire address. For fun, let me see if it works. I can copy this whole thing, automation lesson. So that's the exact address. And I still have to add the name of the file. So I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to go here and name of the file is already there. I paste that right on top before it like this. You do have to close this with another forwarding slash, backward slash. Sometimes this backward slash doesn't work. You may have to change all of this to forward slash. So that's my fear. Let's see what happens. I'll save it. If it goes away, that means it broke. No, it works. Okay.
Mhm.
What if I have a file in a separate folder? Let me see if I have a file. Pictures, wallpaper. I have this wallpaper. So what if I wanted this one? If I put the name of this one, it's not going to work, but I have to take the entire file path. So if I go in properties, copy this, location, all the way to C, and I see it's .jpeg and it's night-flight. Night-flight, okay. So I replace this in here, all the way up to here. Paste it, and then I type in the file name, night-flight.jpg, save it, refresh, and I got that. Did that answer your question, Raju?
Yes, yeah,
And
got it. Thank you.
all right, you're welcome. So all of that can be done, but by default, because it's in the same folder, you don't need to specify. If you just write Volkswagen.jpg, it will be smart enough to understand you got it in there. All right. Let's take 5 minutes break and come back at 12:30. I got a few more things that I'm going to show you really fast now that you saw slowly and you kind of synthesize the information. This time I'm going to go fast. So in next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you how to do ordered list, unordered list, add a table, add a button, add a form, and we are done for the day. So see you back at 12:30.
What do we have? Full name is. You look back.
This time. So the anatomy, now using fancy word, anatomy of an HTML syntax or HTML statement. So you saw that we have an opening. So you have an tag name right here, opening tag. And then you have a closing tag. Fill tag name goes here. Tag name. In here you saw we add any kind of text. So all your text goes there. And anything not text goes inside your opening tag, which is right here. Let me do a little bit of space so it doesn't look too confusing. So all of that is going to go right here. Nothing goes in here, just there. Now, what are these called? These are called attributes. Okay? Attributes. Attributes and equal to, we put an equal sign. So attribute equal sign. And then in double quote, we put value. We call it value. So whenever I say attribute, I mean what goes right inside the first tag before the equal sign. And whenever I say value, that means what goes after the equal sign inside that first tag. That's all there is to it that you need to understand as far as word definition goes. And you can add multiple attribute and value. You add another one in here, you can do that right next to it. There's no limit to how many you can have. So notice that I have an attribute value right here and an attribute value right here. And more attributes you put in, more you refine what you want this text to look like. You can define it. Like the image that you saw, we could change the image that we had. It wasn't any text, but we could change the image that we displayed through the attributes. And we had one called height and the width and so forth. So just keep that in mind. So anytime I say attribute, it means that property, and the value, that means that value that goes into that property, and tag name goes in the front and all the way in the back for closing statement. Right now, I'm going to show you two things. One is I'm going to show you how to create a list. Suppose you wanted a list of stuff right here. You want to say, I want to post more names of cars that I like. So you want to create a list. There are two types of lists. And one is called, let me write this up. Two types of lists in HTML. One is unordered list, and the two is ordered list. Unordered list doesn't have any organization whatsoever. Ordered list is going to have a numbering scheme. We'll have numbers in them to order them. How it's done? Unordered list, in short, you use the tag UL. U stands for unordered, L stands for list. Same thing, you're going to do an opening and closing. I'm not going to keep writing it all the time. You kind of understand how it's done now. Ordered list, same thing. You do OL. for ordered lists. These will create those lists for you. Now let's see how it's done. So I go in here and I'm like, I need an ordered list or unordered list down here of other cards I like. So here's your body. Don't write anything outside the body. Go down here. And in here, you give it a, open up this tag with this unordered list. So open tag, UL, and closing tag, UL. Go inside, create space. So everything has to go in here. And notice I'm doing the same thing that I did earlier. I'm going to write inside it and I'm going to indent it out so that I don't get all messy in here. So I'm going to put one extra indentation by hitting the tab button. Go in here. And another item that you need in here is called list, or actual piece of stuff that you need. So let's say I wanted, I'm going to put in an open and close, excuse me, and you name it LI, have a closing one called LI. This is where you're going to write your stuff that you want to put in as a list. Let's say a Volkswagen, I like, a Porsche, RSCHE. I like Porsche. That would be one of the item that you want to put in here. Then you have to put it inside this open and close tag name called list, or in short, LI. Now if I save it and refresh, notice that I can see this right here. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't scroll down on this page ends here because I don't have any more lines underneath. What I'm going to do, just to make presentations a little bit smoother so I don't have to go all the way down, I can bring it up here. I'm going to add a bunch of breaks in here. I'm going to add this BR and a whole line of this, so I have a lot of line space. Now if I hit save, refresh, I can actually scroll down because I got more lines right here that I can scroll to. Just to be fun, let's add a few more list items. These are very easy. Just copy this whole thing, bring it down, paste it, align it, paste it, paste again, 4 items. And I could say Porsche, Chevy, Ford, and Toyota. If I save it, refresh, I got this. Automatically, notice it added a default bullet next to it, and that's what unordered list does. Any question about unordered list? That's all you need to know. Okay. Ordered list, same thing, except instead of writing UL, you are going to change that with an OL. So if I copy this down here, this whole thing, and paste it, this time I am going to change this U to an O, save it. Look what happens. Same list. I got it down here, except this time it added 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth in a number scheme. Easy? Very easy? Any questions about unordered list versus ordered list?
Yeah, so in order list, I can see that it orders 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. But if I order it alphabetically, ascending or descending, then what to do?
Then you have to add some properties into this first opening tag right here, and the first opening tag right here. And then you can specify order, something like this. You would have to specify order equals ascending or descending. So you have to write attribute order equals ascending or descending. And it's going to look into that and do it for you. But I don't want to show it right now because it's out of the scope of the class. The next thing is table, right? So in the table, the tag that you're going to use is called simple table tag. You're going to have an opening and closing. And what does table contain? What are some things that table contain? Typically, a table has what? If this is a table, we have all the headers that go in here. You're going to see that these are like the main one. First row right here is like a bolded topic that you're going to see. And then you have these columns, and then you have rows. So we're going to use all of those words in here. You're going to see there's like data. All the data goes right here. Data goes right here. These are data cells. But this is column right here, the very, header part right here. So we're going to design it just like that. So you're going to see these other tags. You're going to use the tag called TR, which stands for table row. Let me write it here. These are for rows. Then you have TH, and that's for table header. Then you have something called PD, and that's for table data or cells, table cells. All right. Using these simple, just 4 words right here, you can build a table. So easy. It's just amazing. So let's do it. First, you have to specify that you want a table. So you're going to start with this table tag, table, open and close, /, you go inside, open it up like that. Everything you write is going to be inside, sandwiched between these 2 tags. So now you got this table, but there's nothing in it. Let's save it and see if it shows anything. Saved it, nothing, because we didn't write anything in it. It's there, invisible, nothing shows. But we're going to start first with the table header. But table header goes into into the first row. So if you look at this code, we have this TR stands for table row. So we're going to start with the very first row. So let's go in here, and we're going to use this table row, first row, open TR, and copy that for closing TR with the / and open that up. Since this is the first time it came here, this is going to be the first row. You don't have to say it row TR1 or TR2, nothing. HTML already knows that this is going to be a first row. So in here, inside, you want to create a header, table header, because it's going to be in bold. So you use that tag called TH, short for table header, open and close, TH. Go inside that and type in the name of the first header. Suppose we want a table of cars and prices. So we want to have called cars. I wrote the word cars. Let's save it. See how it looks. And there you have cars right there. So it's coming together. It's bolded up. It doesn't have any lines around it yet. We have not done it. So we'll work on that shortly. But I got cars and I need prices. So I'm going to copy this whole line of table header and bring it down here and then say prices or MSRP, meaning how much it sells for. Prices or price. Save that, hit refresh, and there we have price. Obviously, it's very too close together. If you want to add some space, you can add space or padding. I'm not going to show that in today's class. Just going to leave it here. If you wanted to add more headers, you can add, another one in here and say maybe price, year, what, and model, or let's say, I can add this car and model, and then save it. And it's going to look like this: car, model, and price. Any questions so far? All right, next thing. I'm still inside the table. I'm done with my first row. We go into the second row, and this is where we're going to have data. So again, here as your first open and close. This is your second row automatically identified. And you can copy this. We can't use I don't want to copy this. I'll just type it in. This time you don't need table header because header is done. You want table data. So you do open, close, and write PD /TD. And here you put in the data for the first one. So car, let's say Volkswagen. And for model, so if I save this, let's see how it looks like. There's that Volkswagen right underneath the cars. Let's add a model for this, which was like Polo that we saw. So I'll type Polo. Here's me. No, my caps lock is POLO. Save it. There's that Polo. Add a price. And we're going to put, let's say, $40,000. Save it. And we got $40,000. Now, all I have to do is copy this and paste it here for another one. Porsche Boxster, 90,000. Save it. Looks like this. Another one. Toyota Camry. $30,000. Save it. Refresh. That's all you need to do for your homework. Any questions on table?
If I just have a question, if we need to write that those are the cars are out there, then what we need to do for that? like top of those table.
Like on top of the table, if you wanted like a header or something,
Like a sentence.
or like a sentence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, you can do that. What you do is right on top of this table where you started, you can come in here and understand that you can still write anything you want in here without any tag. You could just say, I just want to write, here are the cars. Okay. If you type that in there and save, it's going to show up.
Oh,
You see that?
thank you.
Yeah, it's simple as that. But let's say you don't want it like that. You want it to be a little bit more bigger, bolder face. Then you put in, let's say H3 or H4. H4 and close that with H4. It's going to look a little bit nicer. So if we save it, refresh, here are the cars. You get a bit of a title type stuff. Okay. Now there's
So
more.
it can
Wait,
be
okay.
cars also. Like
What
only
was-
cars also you can write that way instead of table.
Say that again.
Instead of doing this table, you just simply can write that way only. Just cars. And below that you write this.
If you wanted to write it like this without these tables, you can also do that.
You can also do that.
You can also do that. You have to hit the break, lots of breaks. You have to put that space. Remember the and symbol and BSP. Those spaces, space it out. And it's not going to be so fluid. Notice the beauty of the table is that all of this is kind of in the center. And these are all nicely aligned right under this price section. So it will align it automatically for you instead of you going through and trying to do all that by yourself. It's not going to be so fancy. That's the only difference.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right. So
Let me have one clarification.
Yeah.
Jane. So in the code, you're writing table header, then the car, then table header, closing table header, and then the next line you are writing the model, the next line you are writing the price. So ultimately cars, models, and price, it makes separate column. Is it like that?
Correct. It's making separate column. Each
Okay.
time you write this table header, it becomes a column. Now understand that in the second row, when you wrote this Volkswagen, it automatically understood that this Volkswagen needs to go under this column. And then second data needs to go on the second row, needs to go under models. And then the price, the third data on the second row needs to go to under the header of the third category. So this is like 1, 2, and 3 understands this 1, follows this path 1, 2, and 3. Same thing, 1, 2, and 3. It has this numbering scheme, and then it will take this data and organize it in that view for you. Next is forms. Let's do some forms. I'm going to straight jump in right here and show you. So after the table, I want to put in a form you can fill out. How are you going to do that? You're going to use this open tag called form and a closing tag called form. Simple. As you can see, you learn one thing and then you can use that same learning in so many. You don't have to memorize stuff much. Now, in your form inside, if I just save this, it's not going to give me anything. I get nothing. But generally, how are the forms made? You see a input box like this, where you type in your first name, and then it might say first name. kind of like that. So this is the label for that input box, and this is the input box where you type in your first name. So for forms, you're going to have two things. One is this label, okay, label, and the other is this input, what you're going to put inside. We're going to do the same thing for our HTML. So I'm going to go in here inside the form. I'm going to have a tag called label, open tag, close tag. All right. And I'm going to call it whatever you want to call it. It's the text. So you go in here and then you write first name or name. All right. Just call it name. Now, if I hit save and if I display this, notice this name came up right here. Obviously, I didn't add any breaks, so it's like really butting into my table. Let me just copy some of these breaks right here and put it right in between these guys, the table and the form, to create a little more space. Save it, refresh, and there you go. Maybe too much. Yeah. There's my name came in, but I need an input field. So here's how it's done. You go ahead and put in another tag called input, as you guessed it, and a closing tag, input. All right. Hit save. Look what happened. There you have an input box. Any question? That's it. So for your test, you may have to do a form for your homework. And you want more of these, just copy this whole thing and paste it right here and say, my next one, I want address. And then hit save, refresh, and then you got an address. Obviously, it didn't show up on the side. You bring in this BR, break it, bring it down here, put a break. Save it, and there you got your address. Okay, you can type in your name, Stein, address 123 road or something. Simple as that. It doesn't have to do anything, okay? Now your form is not going to do anything, but the developers, they write form and that data goes from your computer to their server. More on that, we'll talk about it in the Selenium class. You don't need it right now, how that is done. You don't create anything, by the way. All of these classes, I'm just trying to show you what they do just to get you that idea that you have that experience, because they will ask you questions on these. You don't actually have to work with this, but they will ask you questions. And it's good to know. All right. Now you've seen forms, you've seen table, you've seen lists, you have not seen buttons. Oh, by the way, I just want to throw one quick thing. You may have seen a big area of text real quickly. It's just going to show that if you wanted a description field to go in there or something, you can do that with the tag called text area. So I can create another one. I can say label. And say description. Bring in this break. And instead of input, I can type in the word text area. Put that in there. Save it, display. It's going to give me this text area where I can type something bigger. You can make this bigger by specifying how big you want it. You can say row equals, I want 30 rows. And let's say column. I want COLS, calls or columns. Give me like 80 columns. Save that, refresh, and you got this big, and you can keep on typing, and you can go as many columns as you want. If you max out, it's going to throw you an error. Even though this did not expand any bigger, but you are able to write 30 rows up to that. The column is going to make it bigger from here to here, how big you want to see that. Okay. Buttons. What if I wanted to have a submit button here and I want users to submit this? Well, you can do that. All you have to do is type in this word input, as simple as just like you did the form. This time you have to specify something, what kind of input you want. So you go into this. You don't need to write anything in here if you don't want to, but you can. But you go in here into this and write an attribute called type and hit the equal sign, put quotation here, and hit and type in the word submit. Save it, refresh, and you got a submit button right here. Right there. You can actually click on it. It's clickable. It doesn't do anything right now, but it will do it for you. Okay. What if I wanted radio buttons instead of submit button? Well, you copy this same thing, just like this form filled out right here. So easy. Just copy and paste it. Instead of submit, you type in the word radio and then save it, refresh. You got a radio button. Okay. Any questions on that? Now, another property is written with this radio button is called yes or no, a name. Now, before I do that, let's do another radio button. Watch this. So I'm going to have another radio button, and I'm going to add a little break right here, so separate it out from the submit button. And save it. That's how it looks. Refresh. Where did it go? Input. Everything looks okay, but why is that causing an issue? Form. The quotation, notice I missed the quotation right here. And it failed everything from that end. So if I bring that back up, now it's back up. I accidentally deleted it. It's very finicky. You make a little mistake and it's going to drop you off completely. And there's that break. Save it. There's that button. And if I click on it, I can't unclick and open it up. That's not the point of radio button. There should be multiple, and then you should be able to just pick one. So I'm going to copy this again one more time and put it right here. Save it. Refresh. I got two. Well, I shouldn't be able to click both of them. Oh, by the way, what if I wanted a text next to it? Then you can type in where the text goes. You could say yes, and you could say no right here. Hit save, refresh, and you got a yes button and a no button. But unfortunately, both of them got selected. There should be just one selected, not both. How are we going to do that? Well, then you have to associate these two buttons together. Like you have to tell HTML that, hey, these are part of that same question, and don't choose both of them. Only choose one of them. How are you going to do that? You have an attribute called name. Type in the word name and your choice. What do you want to name it? We can call it yes and no, or yes, no. Let's say yes, no. Doesn't really matter. I could say Stein. Doesn't matter. But if I save that and do it now, it still doesn't understand. I can still select two of them. But if I put this same thing, name equals yes, no, copy that and bring it down here for this button as well, now HTML understands that both of these are part of the same radio button set. Therefore, if one of them is clicked, then unclick the other one. So it has this automatic sense because I named it same, I put it on the same category. Now if I save it, refresh the page, and click on the yes button, and then click on the no button, the yes gets unchecked, the no gets checked. Okay. Next is a checkbox. Same thing. Copy that input. Instead of type radio, type in the word checkbox. You can or cannot have this. Doesn't really matter. It won't affect. I'll just delete it. And you could say Mike. Hit save. We're going to have Mike with the checkbox. You can design it however way you want for that. I think that's all I had. There's one more that I want to throw it at you, but it's really not needed. Let me just have a couple of breaks right here. There's something called iframe. Iframe. And you have an opening and a closing. And you don't have to have any text, but you could have another HTML file embedded within this HTML file. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create another one of these. I'm gonna copy this and say save as. I already have HTML file there, and I'm gonna call it another HTML file dot HTML. So if I create another HTML file in the same place and look at it, what it is right here, right there, another HTML file. I can actually embed that in here. So if I say source, just like the image, source equals, put it in quotation and say another HTML file dot HTML, making sure I spelled it correctly, another HTML file dot HTML, and save it and refresh. It's supposed to show up here unless I did something wrong. Another HTML file dot HTML. Double check. Some text. Let's see. Save, or I didn't save it. It's not working. Let me resave this in this smaller, easier word. We'll call it site.html. .html. Maybe I made a mistake in saving it. Here's site.html. So if I say site.html as a source, save that, refresh. Iframe is not working. It's not working, guys. I'm gonna research this and find out why not. But basically what you would see is right down here, you're gonna see another window. And inside the window, you're gonna see the same website again, and you'll be able to scroll up and down. And that's what the whole idea of iframe is. I wanted to throw it in there because they do ask you, what is iframe? I've seen that happen a couple of times. So just know, and if you can tell them that it is a window inside another window. So I'm going to put in the notes in here when I post it. I'm going to refine this notes. I know I wasn't able to get to all the notes that I wanted to. So I will refine these notes and post it right away. I will be adding this video in there too, because I don't think I have a video. But here's how you're going to do the homework. You go in. I have this PowerPoint slide that has the videos. So you go to the next slide and keep clicking until you see this page right here. This page in this PowerPoint slide has about 15 videos. In fact, this guy teaches even better than I do. And you can click open and you start from the very top left corner and then go by the number of the videos and watch them slow down and whatnot, and then create yours. And it shows from the beginning to the end. Each video is about 1 to 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. In fact, it goes really nice and smooth. So watch them. You can just click on it. Let's say I open up number 2 and double click it. It's going to give me to this particular page. Skip that. And then as you can see, he's going to walk you through writing this code and just kind of follow along if you need to. Now, if you got this already and you can pick it up from the notes, that's great. You don't have to go the extra mile. You don't have to watch this video again. You just need to practice, that's it, and get your homework done. So for some, you may have to watch this all over again. If you are that person that needs extra, then watch these videos. But if you feel like, no, I understand what Stein did, and I'm just gonna start up and finish it up in 30 minutes to an hour, then don't watch this video. Just jump right on it. How are you gonna jump right on it if you wanted to? Well, here's the notes from the previous sessions. I have, in fact, better notes right here already posted for you. So follow these, like the and symbol, the space, and then the center and stuff. All the code is right here. In fact, I even have the one answer. Like, you can seriously copy paste this sample HTML right here. You can just copy this, put it on your notepad, and you got yourself a website. And then you can start going in and tweaking things in here, and then changing it up for your own homework submission. So don't panic at all. By the way, really quickly, fun thing right here. Let me show you something that I didn't show, probably forgot. Here's the website that we were creating, and you can put some cool colors. Not this one. If I wanted a background color to change, you can go to the body, because the whole thing is the body. And inside the body tag, you can specify what color you want. And you could say BG color or background color equal to, there is a preset colors, like let's say baby blue. Save it, refresh. Come on. Hold on. How am I doing wrong here? BG color. Maybe baby blue is not there. Corn silk. Save. Refresh. Anyway, I don't know
You
why
can
it's
write
not.
red or something like that. Red.
Yeah, you could say red. Oh yeah, it's going into the site. Damn it. Sorry. I need to reopen this one. Yeah, I renamed it and I'm making changes in a separate file instead. So I need to go back into my first website and open this one, right click and open it, open with Notepad. And this is where I need to change. So iframe, I actually messed it up. It didn't work because of that. So sorry. So hey, let's do the iframe real quickly. So iframe. It did happen, but it happened somewhere else. Source src equals, put it in double quote, and we're going to say site.html, save it and refresh. And there's your iframe, guys. You can expand this, make it bigger or smaller. And see, we talked about red color background. That red color went into that site.html that we can see. How about we change this to baby blue? So if I go back up here, go to the body and say BG color, meaning background color, and equal to baby blue. There is so much more, guys. One class is not enough to teach HTML, but understand that now you know HTML in just one class. You don't have to take all the university courses to do that. Here, if I refresh, baby blue, that's not baby blue, but maybe I'm on cars, my first site. Well, corn, silk, save. Oh, there. Blue. Save it, refresh, blue. Yeah, now it works. You don't like these colors, you can go to Google, HTML color chart, HTML color chart. I know we're way out of time. There it is. You can pick any color, even detail, finer color. Let's say I want this purplish, this one right here. I can click on it and take this code right here and take that and put it in right here and then save it and refresh my file. I got exact color of that into my background. And for fun, you can play with it and figure that out. Okay. So let me go back to this homework. Again, like I told you, you can literally copy this, put it in an HTML file, and you're done. Now, how are you going to submit your homework? You go to your Google Classroom and always go from here. Go to your classroom. You've been assigned this homework already. You open up your class, winter 2022. You go to classwork. And suppose you already opened up your notepad and you wrote your code in here and you saved it on your desktop. So you already have a file. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do anything else. You just go in here and say, oh, here's the homework, HTML. I'm going to view the assignment. This is, I'm going into the students, by the way. So in yours, Jisty, what you're gonna do is I'm gonna make you presenter real quick. Yeah. Go ahead and accept your screen. Let me show you. All right. Go to Google. Classrooms. And open up the class. Classwork. Say got it. Click on HTML. Click on View Assignment. And cross off those other files. Yeah, cross that one. Cross those, all of them. That one too. Okay. So because you already have this in your HTML document that you saved, you're going to say add or create. And instead of clicking on doc, you click on file. You can close that. So click on file. This will open up a window of saying, where is it? Okay. And you say browse. That's like it's in your computer. And there's your computer folder. And you click on desktop. And if you saved it inside the desktop, you choose the file, that HTML file. And see, there's a file right there with the Chrome icon. Just go ahead and take that. Deployed_agents HTML. You select that and then click open and not download. You select the file and then click on open, and it's going to attach that file for you. Yeah, click on it. Click on it, click open. All right, it's pulling that, and notice if you scroll up a little bit, there's that file. And I now, if he hits submit right here or turn in, I'm going to have that file, and I can just click open that file, look at it, and see if you are able to put those elements or not. Now look at this homework requirements on the left where it says, what do you have to do? It says number 1, watch video. So let me take over, Jisty. So the requirement for the homework is that you watch the slideshow or the video. Again, you don't have to. If you got this already and you can pick it up from the notes, you got it. Use Notepad to create an HTML website, just like I showed. Copy, paste, and turn in your HTML code. You don't have to copy, paste, and turn in. You can just attach the file to turn in. Those are the 3 steps. In this homework, here's what's expected. You need a header, you need a body, you need a title, an image, a paragraph. You put in a link to another website, any of your choice. Have an ordered list, unordered list, table, and form, and that's it. Okay. Bonus one, you must contain a link to another HTML file. If you want to do that, just figure out how to do it yourself and add that in there. That could be a bonus for you, but really, I don't care. As long as you have this, you're good to go. That's all I got for you folks. And again, this is not due tomorrow. This is due next Saturday that you need to demo me or something. But you have the day today. I would recommend don't wait for the weekdays to work on it. Work on the weekends. Find some time and work on it while the information is still fresh. Any questions?
Can you share your class note that you have been showing today on the chat so that I can copy it?
Absolutely. Let me do that right now. While I do that, any other questions, please feel free to ask. This is your last closing statements here. Here are the class notes. It's not 100% complete, but you'll find probably better notes in the website right here on that class day. A little more information in here. If no more questions, guys, you're welcome to drop, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9.